A woman will almost never look at you and say, "I'm attracted to you, come closer." That's just not how female psychology works in the initial stages of attraction. What she will do instead is something far more subtle, and if you don't understand the hidden language of her gestures, you will miss the opportunity every single time. Not because she didn't show interest, but because you didn't recognize the language she was speaking. The strongest signals of attraction don't come from her words, they come from her hands, from what she touches, how she touches it, and exactly when she does it around you. When a woman is attracted to you, her nervous system shifts, her internal energy changes, and that subconscious tension needs a physical outlet. Without even realizing it, she begins expressing her desire physically through touch. Most men fail here because they are listening to what she says, trying to read her tone, and waiting for something obvious. Meanwhile, her body has already told them everything they need to know. A woman can be sitting right in front of you, showing clear signs of attraction through her behavior, and you might walk away thinking she was just being friendly. No one ever taught you this language, but once you start noticing these patterns, you'll see that they aren't random. They are behavioral blueprints backed by nonverbal communication. Studies show that the vast majority of emotional communication happens without a single word being spoken. Once you understand this, you stop second-guessing every interaction and start seeing reality in real time. The reason so many men miss these signals is that they've been conditioned to focus on the wrong part of the interaction. We are taught to use words as the main indicator of interest. If she sounds engaged, we think it's a good sign. If she sounds neutral, we assume she isn't interested. But words are the most controlled part of communication. A woman can choose her sentences and manage her tone. What she cannot fully control is how her body reacts. When a woman feels attracted to you, her brain releases chemicals like dopamine and norepinephrine, creating a physical energy that must go somewhere. It doesn't stay in her thoughts, it shows up through small, repetitive actions. She might play with her hair, touch her neck, or interact with objects in a specific way. Most men dismiss these as random habits. But when these behaviors repeat themselves specifically during her interaction with you, they carry deep meaning. Pattern recognition is the key. None of these signals should be read in isolation. Consistency is what separates a casual habit from a deep biological response. The first signal most men notice, but almost always misunderstand, is when a woman starts touching her hair. It sounds like a cliché, so most men either overreact or dismiss it. Hair touching is only meaningful when you understand the why behind it. It's a neurological reaction to nervous energy. If she's twisting a strand of hair around her finger while listening to you, or repeatedly sweeping it to one side even when it's not in her face, she is releasing internal tension caused by your presence. This isn't planned, it's a reaction. A deeper layer most men miss is when she moves her hair in a way that reveals her neck. The neck is one of the most vulnerable areas of the body, containing major arteries. Subconsciously, exposing the neck is tied to trust and openness. Her body is becoming less guarded in your presence. Casual grooming is quick and functional, but attraction-driven hair touching lingers. It's fluid and absent-minded. She isn't fixing her hair. She is responding to the emotional shift you are causing. Once you understand the hair, the next signal, touching the neck or collarbone, becomes even more revealing. This is where the interaction moves from light interest into instinctive territory. Because the neck is so biologically vulnerable, people don't draw attention to it unless they feel a high level of safety. When a woman traces her fingers along her neck or collarbone while engaged with you, she is managing emotional activation. It's a way to soothe the excitement she feels while subconsciously drawing your attention to a sensitive part of her body. Men often misinterpret this as nervousness or discomfort, and while there is a nervous component, it's the kind of good nervousness that comes from being affected by someone. Uncomfortable nervousness creates distance, but being affected creates movement toward you. Pay attention to whether she tilts her head or brushes her hair aside to keep the neck visible. Her body is no longer closed, it's opening up to the moment. Then comes one of the most powerful signals, drawing attention to her lips. She might lightly touch her lips, press a finger against them, or bite her lower lip while looking at you. This is an instinctive way to direct your focus. There is a biological reason for this. Men's attention is naturally drawn to a woman's lips, and women, whether consciously or not, respond to that visual attraction loop. If she applies lip balm slowly while holding eye contact, it's not just routine, it's intentional. She is highlighting one of the most expressive areas of her face during a moment of intensity. The lips become an outlet for the energy of attraction. Many men overreact here by trying to force a move too quickly, which breaks the flow. The correct approach is to stay present and allow the interaction to continue building. She is involving you in her attention, and that shift means her focus is becoming directed specifically toward you. As the connection builds, she might start fidgeting with jewelry, her necklace, a ring, or an earring. On the surface, it looks like a habit, but it's actually self-soothing behavior. When she feels emotionally activated by your presence, her hands look for something to regulate that feeling. Jewelry is the perfect tool for this. She isn't bored. Boredom leads to checking a phone or looking away. This fidgeting happens while she is still locked into the conversation. If she's playing with a necklace near her chest, she's managing internal energy while subtly drawing your eye to her collarbone. Automatic responses like this are much harder to fake than a smile. It's a physical outlet for something she hasn't put into words yet. Watch if it increases when the conversation gets more personal. That's the confirmation that her behavior is connected to you. The most critical turning point is when she moves from touching herself to actually touching you. When she reaches out to brush your arm, touch your shoulder, or let her fingers graze yours, she is crossing a major social boundary. This requires a subconscious decision to create contact. This release of touch-related chemicals in the brain increases feelings of trust and closeness. She is testing the connection. Most men freeze here. They don't react or they become awkward, which makes her feel like the signal didn't land. If she touches you, stay engaged. Smile, maintain eye contact, and let the moment exist. The quality of her touch tells the story. Does it linger just a second longer than a friendly touch? Does she repeat it? If her touch feels fluid and natural, the dynamic has shifted. You are no longer just someone she is talking to. You are someone she is connecting with physically. Another overlooked signal is her interaction with objects around her. If you're at a table, she might run her finger around the rim of her glass or trace the edge of a cup while staying focused on you. This is called displacement behavior. Her body is experiencing attraction, but instead of directing it toward you immediately, she channels it into a safe object. The object becomes a substitute for the tension she's feeling. Look at the rhythm. Is it slow and repetitive? Does it happen during pauses when the energy feels intense? These subtle details tell you what is happening beneath the surface. The more subtle the behavior, the less controlled it is, and the more honest it becomes. She is feeling something, and that feeling is looking for a way to express itself. She may also start adjusting her appearance in front of you, smoothing her clothes, straightening her top, or fixing her hair again. This is presentation behavior. When someone is attracted, they instinctively want to present the best version of themselves. She becomes hyper-aware of how she looks in your eyes. These small corrections usually happen in response to your attention. If you look at her a certain way, her body reacts by refining her appearance. This shows that your presence matters to her. People don't invest energy into their perception unless the person in front of them is important. Consistency is key here. Multiple small corrections throughout the interaction show she is actively participating in the moment with you. The final signal that brings everything together is often misread as boredom, facial framing. When she rests her chin on her hand or cradles her face while looking at you, she is directing all your focus toward her face and eyes. If she's maintaining eye contact and smiling while doing this, she is fully engaged. She is settled into the interaction and no longer feels the need to filter her movements. This comfort, combined with the other signals, tells you that something real is happening. Her body was reacting long before her words ever did. She touched her hair, her neck, and her lips. She fidgeted with her jewelry and eventually touched you. By the time you notice these patterns, she has already moved closer and given you the opportunity to meet her halfway. Attraction is not announced. It is shown through consistent subconscious actions. Once you see the pattern, don't freeze. Stay present and match the energy she's giving you.